Peace, love, and light, everybody. So, I had another download from this last video that I just made. I mean, it was more of a, like, aha, but I call them downloads. I started to think about, since my twin flame and I did not have children, I started to think on having children with a karmic or a soul family, and what the karmic was here to teach me and what each child is here to teach me. And then I thought about what I was embodying and feeling at the time. And the same thing that I was embodying and feeling at the time of conception is what my children are here to teach me. Or not teach me, help me balance as I help them balance the materialistic world with the one where it's not important, our world, the spiritual. It's just not. It's nice to have stuff or whatever, but it's not everything. It's not the say all be all. But I wanted to start off with I guess we call it where my children came into my Blu-ray contract. Because remember, you know, the Blu-ray is raised in the dark, no love, narcs, and we have an arch nemesis. Mine was my mother. She was also my handler. They just torture you as much as possible. So she was always in and out. So I didn't really see what a mother was. I didn't know what family was. I didn't know anything. So my first son was my karmic because I was running away from narcs, and I ran instead of working on myself. And I had a child to teach me this long-ass karmic lesson. So he's 21, I didn't learn like fully, it didn't embed until 9 to 10 years old. So like 11 years ago, I think it was like 2013 I wrote. So basically, I was searching for my twin flame. Nobody ever did. Nobody ever worked out. Never had a first love. My first heartbreak was just recently when we were in separation. Didn't like anybody, no boys, just wanted to have friends, you know. I just knew something, you know. So I get into this relationship with this karmic. He's a narc, the opposite of consciousness. So now we get the narc program so we can be in the darkest of the dark, so we can alchemize that shit to light, so we can not be a narc and break the cycle. We're breaking a karmic cycle of becoming consciousness. That's just the opposite of narcissism. Narcissists think a child is an extension of themselves. That's what I was shown, that's what I was taught. But a child is not an extension of you. They are their own person. Consciousness says they don't belong to you, they don't belong to anybody, they belong to God. That's it. They belong to themselves. And you're just here to foster and guide and watch this amazing show, like, and you're responsible for that, like fostering that. So my karmic is my oldest, and he is my Blu-ray as well. And to this day, he helps me dissolve karmic lessons, and I help him with his. And in return, I have union with like my twin, like harmony with my twin flame. He's my soulmate. You know, me and Andrew be crying it out together. So karmics aren't always a bad thing, but his dad was the one that took me to court. He was a narc. Andrew was, he even named him after him. Like, that's some like egoist, like narc shit, you know. But it just is like, it's not always the case. I'm just saying, like when people do juniors, but in this case it was like, he's mine. Like, he overtook Andrew's whole schedule. Like, it was the worst until I learned like the art of non-detachment and just like observe be here when he needs me. My spirit told me while I was awakening. At that time, I was awakening because I was pregnant with my second daughter. And my awakening started in 2007 after I had Christian, my Capricorn. I'll talk about him next. So, so my girls came next, and now my next lesson that I had to dissolve was soulmate or twin flame. Okay, so this person was my soulmate because he was an Aries. He also had a big family, and I didn't. So it really, like, made me want that more. Like, oh my God, my kids are going to have family and this and that, but it was a nightmare. Another lesson. You got to do it with your twin flame. You got to do it alone. That's just what it is. So they turned out to be a nightmare. Big soul decision. So that was my awakening with my girls. They taught me how to be a mom. They come to me for guidance. We come together when we're both growing. I'm not going to bake cookies with them, but I will give them the best guidance, empathy, and love, and mean it. I won't let them fail. So the Aquarius, I was embodying karmic lesson of running from narcs. Mastering the art of non-detachment, just observation. The Capricorn. The Capricorn, when I had conception on the mind, I had materialism, career, didn't want to live with the father. Nice guy, great guy. Another reason I say either soul family or karmic is I don't talk to my karmic whatsoever. We don't even talk. We stopped talking 10 years ago. My soul the two soul fam, like, we talk. We co-parent together because we know we brought souls into this world, and that's what it is. So he's being fostered with a lot of love. But he's a materialistic Capricorn. I have one of each element, and I'm here to help him foster that, like, balance that with empathy, with non-materialism. Like, don't define yourself just with materialism. So he's, like, working on his skills, his body. He wants to become a barber. Like, he's just real inspired, and he comes to me when he has parasitic attachments, and I'm very proud of him because he's kind of like King David. One time and he walks away. So soul lesson after soul lesson for both of us. But that's what I was embodying, and that's what I got. I got a money grubbing Cappy. My girls, the family. So now they're moving away to another state to keep me on my toes, not keep me stagnant. Like I said, I wanted to leave. My soul's setting me up. I'm going to follow them anywhere. So they're also going to have a big family. I have no family. As a Blu-ray, we don't have family. We have our twin flame and our soul family if we have one. Like, it just is what it is. It's like, it's fine. So why keep them here when I don't even have a family? And that's big on them. Like, they have a big, and they're really big on entrepreneurship and things of that nature. And the girls are like creators, and they're going to be warriors. They're just like, man, they really taught me how to be a very, like, breastfeeding them was like my boys, I didn't know how to be a mom. I never saw somebody, like, give a baby a bottle and hold them close and, like, nurture. And, like, me and Andrew were tight, but my girls was like, and my mother wasn't around for 10 years. She didn't come back for 10 years. And then when she came back, she ruined things. Like, that was when I made the decision to use my twin flame. She sabotaged things with my twin flame, all because I was programmed to feel like shit with terrible affirmations about myself. She would tell me, you don't like your kids, this and that. Like, she's very mentally ill. She would project herself onto me. And she is a karmic, and I think that it was like Beethoven who said he won't find peace until his mother dies. I was just listening to one of my favorites. I listened to two different readers on YouTube, and it's been like that for years. And one, she is like, she talks about everything that goes on in the ethereal and the soul, like who's like what's going on like behind my back and stuff. And the other one just talks about twin flame union because she's been through it. So like, and she lives close. So the asked me why yesterday. The girl's talking about, because 2 years ago this woman my mother took herself out of our lives by repeating the same cycles, and I had to take a stand. Like, I had to break the cycles, and that's, you know, it was during my separation from my twin flame. Like, I just had to find inner union, like with my kids. Like, I had to find my own way, you know, stop thinking somebody else is going to fix my problems, like looking for a savior. Like, I had to do it all myself, you know. So so what were we talking about? We were talking about the girls. Oh yeah. So the psychic lady says there's a karmic that just can't stop obsessing over you, and it's more of like a mother figure, an estranged mother. She says someone who is trying to come back to your life, not to reconcile things, but to make things even worse and make it look like your fault this time, because all they care about is how they look. A narc. Like, she's never going to break the cycle. So like Beethoven, that woman's always lurking around, and because she is very mentally unstable, she doesn't know the word no, and she doesn't care. She thinks she owns me. She has been fragmented of the mind. She was used by the M's. She was a serious S handler, if you know what I mean. Not a very good person. So, and of course, I come into union, but since we're in union, she will stay away. She knows to stay away. But asked me why I'm in court yesterday, and after I hear my psychic girl, my girl Jetsy talk, read, what happens? This lady comes up to me talking about, are you Monica? I saw you on Facebook. I know your mother. Confirmation. So I'll be liking what's I like to know what's going on in the etheric realm against me as well. I broke away from her when I finally broke away from the narc pattern, and I became conscious. That's how I know narcissism is the opposite of consciousness. It's a program. It's just another program, and you're programmed with your egoic self. And those people just kind of like fade away. They disappear. I hear about them, but I never see her. I'll never see her. I'll say, oh, we saw your mother last week, or we saw this, but I won't see her, because I don't have that vision in my mind, you know. So let's see if I have anything else. So basically, I just wanted everybody to think on what they embodied while they were getting ready to conceive. Because if you don't have any children with your twin flame, then you have them with a karmic or a soulmate. If you hate your baby daddy, you hate your baby mama, why? It's something within you. You program them here to break some sort of cycle. If you're still with that person, maybe they're your soul family. Maybe you're just a big ass soul family. You know? That's it. But the Aquarius was my first karmic lesson. So, yeah, my money grubbing Cappy. So, but the thing is, like, I didn't want to share my space with his dad at that time. So, like, now he is weird about sharing space with me. He is such, like, an empath. He is such a Blu-ray. Like, he has such a, really, his heart is so soft that when I have to be in the right state of mind, and the more conscious and the more healing that I do, the more he wants to come around. So that's another thing, you know, that soul children do for you. They really keep you on your toes and want you to keep going, you know. And the fact that he asks for guidance and he doesn't, you know, repeat the same mistake once, and he actually listens to my guidance, says a lot. It says more than anything. More than a bullshit Mother's Day card or something like that, you know. But, yeah, so basically with the girls, I just have to foster empathy. I have to show them to never forget about others. Like, sometimes they get a little too materialistic with the type of lifestyle that they live with their father. It's just what it is. So you think about it now. Think about why your children even came into your life. What's the contract? Like, did you contract them? Did they contract you? Was it a whole soul family thing? What do you learn from them? What do they bring up in you? Do you want to teach them? Do you want to guide them? Do you want to see what kind of person they'll turn out to be? You don't say, oh, they're like so-and-so. They look like... No, they're their own person. So, like, non-attachment, observation, consciousness, like, all that was in my program from the get. And the children came into my program in 2003. Right. I had my first son, my karmic, and then I met my twin flame when Andrew was 1. And his dad just wouldn't let me go, wouldn't let me go. It was like every relationship, before every single one, it was like my twin flame would come back. We'd give each other energy and then push off and then go do our own work, our own karmic work, our own shadow work, whatever you want to call that, our own. So yeah, so what are your children here for? Peace, love, and light, everyone.